The FBI team is investigating how your elected officials are spending your tax dollars. While many people are fighting to keep their jobs, some top lawmakers in Washington are giving their employees big bonuses and raises. Rob Coble is here to break it all down. Rob.
Well, that's right. You may not have seen a raise in years, but some of your Congress members say their employees deserve the hikes, big ones, between 8 and 10%.
John Pausch makes sure his carpet cleaning equipment is working. As the owner of Extreme Steam in Milwaukee, it's how he pays the bills.
It's been kind of tough lately.
The economy has taken its toll on his business and employees.
My salary has dropped about 5% every year in the past 6 years just to stay in business.
And it also means no raises for his workers. Pausch's story isn't new. Workers all over Wisconsin are struggling to make ends meet. But if you work for Senator Herb Kohl, Congresswoman Gwen Moore, or Congressman Jim Sensenbrenner, life is good. These records show lots of raises and bonuses last year. Workers getting $5,000, $7,000, $11,000 apiece. We head to Congressman Sensenbrenner's town hall meeting to ask why.
As I noticed, your staff, you have about 3 people that got about $30,000 in pay raises with bonuses.
We had a number of people go on leave of absence at the end of last year, and the people who continued working for me were working harder, and they were doing sometimes 1.5 or 2 people's jobs. They need to be paid more.
But then, you know, Congressman, too, excuse me for a second, a lot of people in America are all taking on new jobs and not making any more money.
Well, you know, the fact of the matter remains is that we're a constituent service office, and if you look at my total payroll, it's one of the lowest in the Wisconsin congressional delegation.
Records show Sensenbrenner increased his payroll by more than 13% in the last 3 months of 2010. 2 staffers got $11,000 hikes each, another almost $9 grand. After the interview, I get a call from Sensenbrenner's chief of staff. He tells me all 3 workers actually got big promotions, so that's why you needed to pay them more. Sensenbrenner tells me they also work long hours.
So you're defending giving almost $30,000 to, actually it is $30,000 to 3 staffers?
I'm defending paying my staffers an adequate wage for what they do, sir.
Senator Herb Kohl's staff is doing well, too. You paid 5 of the staff members $45,000 in raises last year. Take a look. 2 got $11,000 apiece, 2 more got $8 grand, and 1 with almost $7,000.
Hi, this is Rob Coble with today's TMJ4.
I tried to ask Senator Kohl why you had to pay such big raises in a tough economy, but he said no interview. One of the staffers who got one of those $11,000 hikes is the media person who wouldn't talk to you either, but she did email. She says Kohl's staff salaries were actually frozen in 2010, and those huge increases were limited to a handful of cases, only for workers who took on different jobs with increased responsibilities.
The problem is that this is taxpayer money, and congressional salaries, particularly at the upper level, are substantial.
Jay Heck is the executive director for Common Cause, a political watchdog group here in Wisconsin, and he says he's seen this all before.
The question would be, if one person can do both jobs anyway, why would you need 2 people to begin with?
Congresswoman Gwen Moore shelled out big bucks too, 17 grand in raises and bonuses to 3 key staffers. 2 got an extra 6 grand apiece, another 5 grand. I waited 2 weeks for a call back from Moore's staff, then headed over to her district office in the 3rd Ward.
Yeah, hi, this is Rob Coble with Channel 4. I was wondering, is Congresswoman Moore around?
I believe she's not here today. I'm not sure.
But her media person must have heard about my visit because I quickly got, you guessed it, an email. Congresswoman Moore wants you to know she handed out your money because she values her staff, that they work hard, and that she is paying well to attract and maintain good employees to serve you.
I think to the average person, when they see this happening, regardless of the political party, it creates a certain amount of resentment and tension.
And that same tension is evident from Congressman Sensenbrenner, who made it clear he didn't like us looking at how much of your money he gives his staff.
And it's tough when you get cheap shots from the news media and other
Are you calling this a cheap shot?
Absolutely, I'm calling it a cheap shot.
You felt it was a cheap shot? I was going to give you an opportunity to respond. No?
You can put it on the cutting room floor.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Just what I said.
Okay.
But he wasn't finished. As he walked away back to his town hall meeting, listen to what he said.
Now you see what the news is, you know, not solving the deficit.
John Pausch is no expert on deficits, but he says he does know big raises in tough times probably won't help.
That's your taxpayer money, too.
Exactly. That's the problem with it. You know, I'm out here working every day, paying 30% of my wages into these guys' pocket, and what do I get out of it?
A question we found 3 Wisconsin lawmakers hard-pressed to answer.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Just what I said.
But we'll keep working on it, trying to talk to Senator Cole and Congresswoman Moore. And, of course, we'll keep an eye out for any more of those big bonuses, 8 and 10%.
I-Team keep.
Well, we started tracking the salaries last July, keeping a close eye on increases. In these tough economic times, we wanted to ask them how they could justify using your tax money this way.
It's tough when you get cheap shots from the news media and other
Are you
people.
calling this a cheap shot?
Absolutely, I'm calling it a cheap shot.
That's how Congressman Jim Sensenbrenner reacted when I asked him how he justified using taxpayer dollars to give out about 30 grand in pay bonuses for 3 staff members in the last quarter of 2010.
Yeah, hi, this is Rob Coble with Channel 4. I was wondering, is Congresswoman Moore around?
I believe she's not here today.
Moore refused repeated requests for an interview. She shelled out $17,000 in bonuses to 3 key staff members at the end of 2010. Here's how it breaks down. 2 got an extra $6,000 apiece, another $5,000. That's Congresswoman Gwen Moore's new chief of staff, Min Tao, who tries to block our camera.
You got one of those bonuses?
No, I didn't. I didn't. So, yeah, so another lying cheap shot.
He just started, and we aren't able to track his salary yet. He doesn't want us to ask his boss about how she spends your taxpayer dollars. Take a look at the numbers. They don't lie. Moore not only gave out more than 42,000 grand last December, but kept on giving. She's paid out more than 15,000 bucks to 6 staffers in bonuses through June of this year alone.
Is this sending the wrong message to the public?
Public employees are a bargain. We would not be able to find the caliber of employees that work for members of Congress in the private sector.
Massachusetts Congressman Barney Frank says he doesn't give bonuses. He was in town with Moore to help raise campaign money.
What do I call it? I call it their salaries. At the beginning of the year, I figure out what the salary is going to be. I hold back some of it to be fiscally prudent in case there are emergencies. When there are no emergencies, I release it. That's
why release it in the first place? That could be money that could go toward the debt.
Right, it could be.
But you're not giving it toward the debt, and neither are you.
No, excuse me, please don't do that. You want to take a cheap shot and then turn away and not give me a chance to respond. It's money that they're salaries. So apparently your suggestion is that they shouldn't get any salary.
Members of Congress have to be sensitive about this stuff.
Jay Heck, the executive director for Common Cause, a political watchdog group here in Wisconsin, says it's sending the wrong message.
I think what's very important is that public officials be reminded from time to time that it's taxpayer dollars. And let's face it, this is a time of incredible hardship for many, many people.
Moore defends handing out bonuses.
In order to keep good employees anywhere, you have to provide them with decent salaries so that they can feed their families.
Congressman Frank wanted to get the last word in.
I see where you're coming. Yeah. You're trying to make an issue out of nothing. You don't want to talk about serious spending problems.
I want to talk about spending in the bottom line in your offices and the other people.
No. Can I talk about it?
Absolutely, Congressman.
Okay. No, you want to talk about relatively small amounts of spending as opposed to the huge.
It all adds up.
And I wanted to ask Congresswoman Moore about this nearly $1,000 restaurant bill she stuck to you, the taxpayers. Her office claims it was for a biannual retreat in Milwaukee last January. She also paid another $300 the next morning for breakfast. Her chief of staff ended that interview, as you can see, before I could ask those questions, Carolyn Mike.
You had tried